once again, and we're not going to play chess tonight because we're going to go to Abu Dhabi. And this is the preparation for Abu Dhabi. I got to get in shape. We're going to do a big climbing expedition in Abu Dhabi, actually in Ras al Khaima. And I can't go right now. I'm not in shape, so we're going to get in shape, and hopefully you will enjoy watching how to get in shape and learning a little bit more about it, and maybe getting some good inspiration to everybody get yourselves in shape if you're not already. Getting in shape starts out by stretching. Okay, I'm going to put my feet up, and this is very important. Don't put them up too high because you don't want to like stretch a muscle in your back or something. Like I did that once. I stuck my feet so far up, I stretched the muscle in my back. I really kind of pulled the muscle in my back. And it's very important. Right now, I'm going to do this for just a little while. I'm going to get my lymph. Those of you who don't know what lymph is a clear liquid that's between all the cells in your body. It brings oxygen to your cells. It brings nutrients to your cells, and then it brings carbon dioxide away from your cells, waste products away from your cells, goes back to the veins, and then back to your heart, to the liver, everywhere. And lymph is very important. Your blood doesn't reach all the cells directly. Your blood basically gets close to the cells and then comes out of the capillaries in the form of lymph, and then goes pretty far and wide as lymph to in the what they call the intercellular spaces, and supplies the cells, brings away the waste products. And it's very important to activate your lymph system every day. So I do this twice a day. I do it when I wake up. When you're sleeping, you're going to be horizontal, and that's pretty good for your lymph system. But what really enhances your lymph system a lot, if you can put your feet up and drain everything out, and it goes all the way down to your central body, and then gets replenished in a lot of different ways. And it's really good for your brain too, because we're not going to be doing, after I do the Abu Dhabi thing, the climbing, I might go back to chess. And if I do, hopefully I'll be a lot better, because, a good mind and a good body, it's kind of important. I'm going to get that. It's the first time I've been doing this kind of chat. This kind of streaming, and I gotta make sure I got the chat here. Let me see. Hi chat, no. Show chat, yeah. So yeah, everything's good. Everything's good so far. So let's go ahead and keep doing the lymph system thing, because we're going to be at this for a little while, because it's the only way to really do it correctly. You gotta spend time. The climbing I'm going to do, it's 17 pitches, and it takes about, almost a whole day to go up all the way to the top in Ras al Khaima. If you're near your internet right now, you can search for a place called Ras al Khaima. It's in the United Arab Emirates. And when you get to the top, there's goats up there. You start out really low, you go up high, and then 17 pitches, and then at the top, there's goats. And a lot of people just kind of be laid down, but you can also walk down from the top. It takes a long time to walk down, but you can do it. Wow. Getting winded a little bit already. Hopefully during the, as time passes, because you're going to see me get in shape. It's going to take a little while to get in shape. It won't be just tonight. It's going to be a few other nights besides that. And then you'll see me document my voyage. I'm going to fly Emiratis. They're not my sponsor or anything, but I thought I would give them a little call out there because it's a good, it's a really nice airline. You can actually exercise there. The aisles are a lot wider than a normal airline, so you don't feel nearly so cramped on those big, I think they're called, I can't remember the name of them, like 380s or something. I always forget the name of those airplanes. Okay, so without any more ado about airlines, let's just stretch. Get the lymph out, we're talking about that. And this actually, you can see, like, it's gonna, as you pull your legs and everything, you're not just stretching your legs, you're actually helping your chest muscles, your arms, and right now I'm using my abdomen a lot too, so it's not like I'm just draining the lymph out of my feet. I'm doing much more. So this is basically how it works. Now, those of you at home who are watching, some of you will be down, doing this stuff on your own as you're watching, which is good. It's excellent if you can follow along as you watch. But a lot of people, I think they just watch and do it later, but this is such an easy exercise and it's so healthful, and it's also extremely easy to remember. Just get your feet up, keep them up for like at least 5 minutes or so, and let the lymph drain out of them and squeeze. The squeezing is actually really good. A lot of people get problems with their feet in life. People abuse their feet. You just walk around on them all day, never stretch them, never exercise them, never really take care of them. And if you do this, you stretch them, pull your toes in different directions, see? Pull your toes in different directions, stretch them out, push here on the bottom, you see? I'm pushing here on the bottom. The Japanese have it's called do-in, something like that, where they just they identify all your organs there in your feet, your liver, your brain, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, and everything, and then they know exactly where to push. And if you don't know where to push, you're like me, I don't know where to push either, so just kind of push all over and help everything, right? And you don't have to concentrate on any particular organ, just push down there, push quite a bit. Make sure you get your ankles really good. Your ankles are a very important part of your body. They give you stability, so stretch them out. Stretch your foot in both directions, okay? And remember, whatever you do on the one foot, you got to do on the other foot. We don't want to become asymmetrical in any way. For climbing especially. Climbing, you never know if you're going to go right, if you're going to go left. You got to be ready to go either direction. There's no way to predict. So here we go. We're still stretching quite a bit. We've done our feet, we've done our ankles. Now we're going to squeeze up all the way up to the thighs. The knees. Knees is another part of the body that gets neglected. I've noticed that sometimes I will get knee pains, but I get them a lot less if I constantly like massaging when I can, like during the day, like doing an exercise like this, or stretching them. Like here you can see I'm like pushing, moving the muscles and tendons all around. Basically communicating to them that, okay, we like you, you're part of the body, don't give up, don't sabotage the rest of us, We're all in this together. It's a team effort. Wake them up and tell them they're part of the team, right? And keep squeezing all the way down. Squeeze your legs, squeeze the lymph right down out. Okay, and also you want to stretch your back. So see, put your feet all the way up and over as much as you can. You can get into a position like this too. It's pretty good. You get back and then just put your feet like way up like this. Really drains the lymph out and feels really good for the back. Okay, so we don't want to tire ourselves out too much, but because we got a lot of more exercises to do besides just these. This is just like the very beginning. So next thing we're going to do is, because we just exercised our stomach a lot, like in this direction, we're now going to pick it up like this, push it in the other direction with putting my hands back. Okay, move a little bit more here so we can get a little bit better into the picture. And yeah, that's better. Okay, so here we go. Pushing up, down. Okay, you have what's called normal muscles on one side of your body, and the muscles on the other side are called the antagonistic muscles. And like I did my stomach, so we also have to do the back, right? So if I was pulling my legs this way, now I need to push them the other way, because we don't want to be asymmetric in any way. So we're just going to keep moving because we want to get our heart beating, right? Your heart is a muscle, and if you want to live a long time and a healthy life, you gotta keep your heart always strong, right? A lot of the thing about exercise. Now I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna stretch in some different ways. A lot of the I'm gonna turn off the light over here. Hold on a second. I guess it's on all right. So a lot of the things in life to have a healthy body is basically just communicating with your body. Like your cells are down there and you can't talk to them, right? You can't just talk to yourself, and, you know, like you would a team member at work or something. You can't just, you know, talk to it in English or something. You gotta communicate in other ways, and the way we communicate to ourselves is we stress them a little bit. Okay, you got to have your body in a situation where you're starting to work kind of hard, starting to breathe more, starting to sweat, and then your muscle, not just your muscle cells, but your organ cells, your brain cells, everything, they get the message. They think, well, you know, it looks like, you know, we still got some stuff to do. It's not time to go to sleep. It's not time to go dormant or die. We just gotta, there's something important that we're doing right now. So that's an important part about this exercising too, is we're communicating to ourselves, right? Okay, so far we did this part, we did the back. Okay, now we gotta do the side. Okay, so to do the side, you get in a position like this, and now you see how I'm lifting my foot up and down? I'm going to move this a little bit more in this direction so you can see better. Right? So maybe I can move like this. This is, you know, because I was playing chess the other night, so this is the first night I've been doing this, so I have to figure out the angles and everything. So okay, here we go. It's good. Now you can see pretty good. Okay, so we are lifting the legs up and down we're using these muscles here are like pulling the legs up. So we did the stomach muscles, we did the back muscles a little bit. Okay, now we're doing the side muscles, and it feels really good. Like, as I do it, I'm also like pointing my toes. Can you see my toes? I point them like this. And when I do that, like in different directions, I can feel my back muscles stressing and also stretching in different directions. Okay, so this is basically something you can do at any age. Like, a lot of my viewers are young people, and they think, well, I don't have to do that because I'm just already so healthy and everything. But, you know, you gotta start right now because you gotta develop the habit. And you'd be surprised how many older viewers contact me and tell me that they're inspired by these exercises, because a lot of people, they just don't think, well, I don't know, I think I'll just relax, watch some TV, play some video games. There's a lot of old people even right nowadays that play video games. Video games have been around since the 1970s. And they think, well, I'm not going to exercise. It's like, I'm going to take it easy. Maybe I'll exercise tomorrow. But you know what? You got to do it today. Like, I'm doing it today because, did I tell you guys, let me keep repeating because it's, you know, everybody comes here expecting to see me play chess. Got to explain what's happening. I've been invited on a rock climbing expedition in Abu Dhabi. And I won't be able to do it. It's 17 pitches, it takes a whole day. I'm not going to be able to do it unless I'm in shape. And so it's a good time to stop playing chess for a little while and start to get in shape. Okay, so we did the side muscles, we did the stomach muscles, and now we're going to stretch a little bit more. Now, when I do this, so many people don't exercise because they think it's so difficult and you have to remember a certain routine and a certain recipe. Basically, feel your body and believe that any motion is going to be good for you. I wouldn't say that 600 of anything is going to be good for you, but a few of any direction is going to be good for you, because it's kind of like workers. Imagine you were in a fishing boat or something and there were nets to pull up. You know, you got to grab them in the waves and pull them like in different directions. It's just going to make you stronger. It's not going to hurt you to move a muscle in a slightly different direction. In fact, I think that's why so many people get injured. They never move their muscles in different directions. They go to the gym and they have this academy instructor who tells them, well, do it exactly like this or you're going to injure it. And yeah, if you do 600 in the wrong way, you're going to injure it, but you're not going to injure anything just by experimenting a little bit. And if you're going to be climbing rocks, you're going to have to move in every direction. There's no prediction of what you're going to be doing. So you basically have to get that unpredictability already programmed in your body, like moving in different directions. Like I'm going to grab my foot and move it in this direction. I'm going to stick my foot way over here and then lift it up, because that's the kind of thing you got to do. And look, you see how you can move in different directions? Just do, you know, some people call it slow motion break dancing. And probably if it was fast motion, yeah, you might twist something or lift something in the wrong direction. But anybody can do this. Slow, just go at your own speed. And you're getting your core muscles really good. You're getting your upper arms, you're getting your shoulders Okay, now the one thing we didn't do yet was exactly the back muscles right back here. We haven't gotten those yet very good. So I'm going to show you, I think, one of the best exercises for that. Okay, so you just lay on your stomach, and some people call it the Superman. And I wouldn't do this 600 times because I have heard people say that, well, that, you know, my instructor told me that was like bad or something. But it certainly isn't bad for me. I used to have like really bad pains in my back. Like it was a long time ago, like about, I don't know, 20 years ago or so. I could hardly walk. And I started doing these and it helped me a lot because it strengthens. You see what I have to do? When I lift this foot up, I'm using these back muscles to really pull, right? And a lot of people just don't use those back muscles very much. So, you know, I pull them, pull them up, lift an arm up at the same time. Okay, so, and you should do, a lot of people can't do very many of these. Just do as many as you feel comfortable with. None of these exercises I'm doing the first day, I wouldn't recommend doing any more than like 8 of them actually. If you haven't even done any, because I remember those things on the side I was showing you before. I started doing those about 12 years ago, and I remember the first day I did it, I think I did 12 of them. And then, wow, I really hurt. Like the next day, it was like just so much pain and everything. It's not like I injured them or anything, it was just like that really achy pain that you get when you use a muscle that in a different way than you normally use it. So, you gotta go really easy on these exercises in the beginning. So this is just a friendly rocking exercise. It helps to do the organs, like the basic organs that you have in your central body, which are right in here. So this is kind of important because normally we have like a static gravitational force that's pulling them just in that direction. And what this does, it kind of puts them into 0G for a little while, and then they go in the opposite direction. So it really helps to move stuff through your body. It helps a lot to get all the parts of your body moving around. Like I was talking about the lymph system that goes through the intercellular spaces, and an extension of that you could consider all the fluids that move through your different organs. And they don't have a real strong pump. They have your heart, but your heart's kind of far away, and then you just get like this hydrostatic pressure. And every once in a while things get like stymied up in there a little bit, kind of like a little log jam. So instead of just that static force all the time, it's really good to get some dynamic pressure on everything in different directions. And that's going to help you in the long run a lot, and it's going to help me in the next preparations as I'm getting ready for the expedition in Abu Dhabi. It's actually not in Abu Dhabi. I fly to Abu Dhabi, and then from there it's going to be a few days rest, and then to Ras al Khaima, which is where the rock climbing will be. And it's 17 pitches, right? It's a whole day. So what I'm doing here is like absolutely nothing. It's going to take a little bit more preparation than just this hour or two you're going to be watching here, but I'm going to keep showing because we got to make a storyline too. I mean, this is a Twitch channel. It has to have a story. People are not going to come to a Twitch channel if it doesn't have a story. And I need the story. When I was playing chess, I had the natural story. Like every night, we got the chess games and everything. In this case, the story, there's an overriding arc of going to Abu Dhabi, and then from there to Ras al Khaima to do the rock climbing. But we've got to have a story every night, right? And within every night, there's got to be stories, like every 3 minutes there's got to be a story. If there's not a story, just not going to have viewers. You know, I got to have the viewers because, as I explained in my chess channel, my job is basically being really taken away from me by ChatGPT. I worked all my life as a translator, and it's taking my job, and so I gotta get this. It's like imperative for me to get this channel going. And so the story I'm going to propose here tonight was actually given to me by AI, because I asked ChatGPT, you know, like, okay, I'm doing I got a chess channel, but I need to change it to a exercise channel, and I got stories in chess, like they're just natural, they happen naturally all the time. You know, how am I going to do a story with, you know, with exercising? So these were the ideas that ChatGPT told me. It said, well, what you could do is you're going to have mystery visitors. Like, as you're doing the exercises, every few minutes, there's going to be like a mystery visitor that comes in. And so that's going to really make it a lot more interesting, because people have to figure out who the mystery visitor is. So I think we can do that right now. Let's invite a mystery visitor in. And it's a mystery, so I can't tell you who it is. So it's going to be something you have to figure out. I'm going to say a few dialogue things so that you can have it, have a clue. Or maybe it's better, leave it up to you, right? I think it's very important you have a mind, and it's very important that we exercise it. We exercise it in the chess channel very, very intensely all the time with all the different positions. Okay, so next I got to do the jumping. Okay, you can see the jumping thing right over there. And okay, I got it basically. Now this gets the lip system really good too, because what we're going to do is we're going to go up and down. When I'm up in the air, I'm in 0G. So it really helps a lot. And I'm going to be exercising my arms as I do this by holding them in different positions. But this is doing the core. Like I can feel, it's good to be aware of what's happening. I can feel my back and my core, my legs, everything tightening up, loosening every time I jump. And it's also doing the dynamic, because I was talking about the hydrostatic pressure, but you have hydrodynamic pressure too. And so this changes it from hydrostatic to hydrodynamic all through your brain, your organs. And this is just going to help a lot. Really help a lot. If you don't have a jumping thing like this, you can skip rope, and you can also run. Running also moves, makes you move up and down a little bit. And that's basically what we're doing right now, is we're getting some good hydrostatic pressure. Hydrodynamic pressure. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is TRX. Okay, I'm going to turn this a little bit more so you can see. That's the TRX thing. And these things are like totally cheap to buy. I got this one for like $12 or something like that. They're just straps with plastic handles. They're not expensive at all. You just have to have a place where you can hook it up. I hooked it up to a pull-up bar that's here on the wall. But some people just go, I already showed you what it is, so now I can focus over here so you can see more the actual action of it, how it works. Okay, so I'm going to get this. Okay, so basically you're going to lean back like this, okay? And as you're leaning back, you're going to be basically just like pulling yourself up and down, okay? But you're not going to be just repeating always the same muscle. Like I wouldn't do this 50 times. See, what you can do is, see, you move that arm like in a different position. You go out like this with both arms. There's so many things you can do with the TRX. And you can do everything according to your own abilities. If you don't exercise a lot, just bring your feet more underneath you, you see? Yeah, it's so easy. It's just completely easy, like anybody could do this. Like anybody could just do this. I mean, if you did it like this, it would be like nothing with it. You do like 1%, 10%, you know, I'm down to about like 30% and then you can go even more extreme than this if you want to. But this is good for your core. This is really good as an abdominal exercise. You can see what I'm doing. I have to keep my body really flat to do this. And when you're doing it, if you become aware of what your body is doing, it's really, like I'll put it with one hand so I can see right here. When I pull up, you can really feel that part of your body tensing. It needs to tense in order to stay straight. So we're doing like everything on the ventral part of our body right now, our chest muscles, our arms, our stomach, our thighs, all the way down to the knees. And now we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to just move ourselves around in this direction. Let me refocus here because this is a little bit different angle. Now we're going to go around to this side and not to get too tangled up here. There. Okay, so that's great now. Okay, so now we're going to go in this direction and we're going to not only exercise our arms and shoulders, but we're really going to exercise and stretch out our legs, because as you get into this position, these muscles in the back of your leg are really going to stretch, and you can stretch those. So a lot of people get into a mindset, oh well, I'm going to do these hardcore strength exercises, but we're going to be doing stretching, strength, and then they think, well, I'm stretching my legs now. No, you're not. You're stretching your back muscles too. You're like, look, see? I'm stretching these muscles here. I can feel these muscles in my back stretching. I can feel my legs stretching. I'm getting into a really dynamic pose here. Okay, and then I do the other leg. Okay, and there isn't anything to memorize here, you know. You just be aware of your body and just feel everything stretching. You're in pulling and stressing and stretching. You're basically just doing, you realize you have, how many muscles are in your body? I think there's 208 bones, if I'm not mistaken. And each one of them has a bunch of muscles attached to it. So there's just more muscles than you can actually count in your body. And your goal with the TRX is to stretch and stress as many as possible. So we're not going to do repetitive exercises in any direction. But you see, when you're rock climbing, you gotta push in different directions, and you never know how your body is gonna be. Like it could be like this, it could be like this, it could be like this, that you have to pull yourself. So you're just gonna use your imagination. I think the TRX that I'm doing right now is as much about imagination as it is about strength, and it's as much about stretching also as it is about imagination. It's just like doing everything you can possibly imagine. And there, look, I'm stretching my back like crazy, like just like making it feel like really good. And a while back we were moving the back for strength, and now we're stretching it to revigorate all those muscles, pull those muscles like in different directions, whatever buildup we had in those, any kind of waste chemicals or anything, because when you use muscles, they take in nutrients and then they excrete waste as part of their process, and then you gotta get those waste things moved away from the muscles. And so as you do the dynamic stretching, after you use them, you're going to naturally be replenishing them. And we got to learn to do this. A lot of people go to an academy, they work out for an hour, they get really tired. Oh, that was great. They think that was great, we'll go home and rest, watch some TV. But it's not about that when you're going to be doing 17 pitches in a desert. After you exercise, after you do one pitch, you're going to have to somehow move your body, do a little stretching, try to replenish yourself some so that you're in good shape to do the next pitch up. Right, and then there's more and more where that comes from. And if there's any kind of a problem, you might have to know how to belay yourself out of trouble or whatever. So you can't just expect, well, I'm going to get tired. I mean, we're not trying to get tired. We're trying to exercise, we're trying to stretch, but we're trying to keep ourselves always ready for more without getting tired. Right? That's the name of the game here. So, look, picking the leg up, using the TRX as a kind of a balancing thing. Okay? So we're picking the leg up, extending in different directions. So the TRX can also help with that. Can help you to keep your balance, to do some dynamic things. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, so as to keep ourselves extremely variable here, we're going to go over here, we're going to do some, I can give you a view outside, the street outside. It's kind of interesting. It's at night here. You can see pretty far well. I think I have to turn off the lights so we don't get so many reflections. But see, this is where the story's starting. We're going to be in Abu Dhabi soon. And right now we're working out in a completely different place. And you're going to follow the journey, right? So that's what this story is about. Every YouTube channel has a story. Every Twitch channel has to tell a story. The human being, since 70,000 years ago, we started to tell stories. That's at least what anthropologists tell us. And songs are stories. Twitch channel are stories. Books are stories. Movies are stories. Everybody wants to tell a story. Everybody wants to hear a story. And our story tonight it's a story about keeping the body in good shape, stretching the body like like in different directions. Okay, so did I get on here and tell myself, well, I'm going to do 1,200 reps and put the clock here and everything? No. What I'm doing is I'm being very aware of my body. I'm stretching. Right now I'm stretching. Stretching the back of this leg. Okay, I'm stretching my back. I can feel back muscle stretching there. We talked about that, right? We talked about there's probably 1,000 different muscles in the human body. Look, now I'm leaning forward and using everything I can to stretch different things in different directions. Okay, because we talked about that too. We don't want to get tired. We actually want to do as much as we can, as much activity that we can while still feeling invigorated. Okay, we're going to leave this entire exercise session more invigorated than when we began, which is very important because many people have jobs, and most people actually have jobs. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't know how many people have jobs, but if you have a job, a lot of people tell me, well, I don't want to exercise because I'm tired. I go to work, I got a lot of stress, then I exercise, I get tired. No, don't do that. Don't get tired exercising. I'm trying to teach you the right philosophy, right, for exercising. Do not get yourself tired, right? Get yourself invigorated. Everything you do is going to invigorate you more. You shouldn't feel tired. I think that's a cultural thing. I think everybody goes, well, yeah, of course, if you exercise, you're going to get tired, right? No. Get that out of your mind. If you got that idea, you probably will exercise. What you're going to do is you're going to exercise for invigoration. And you're going to stop if you start to feel any tiredness. I'm not feeling any tiredness. I feel more invigorated now than when I began about 40 minutes ago or so. And I'm just going to keep exercising until I'm not feeling invigorated anymore, and then I'll stop. Well, I think I'm going to just keep going for quite a while because I don't feel anything like any hint of tiredness so far. So you see how I'm going in different directions, and I'm kind of bouncing a little bit, right? Posture is very, very important for exercise. So right now, I'm trying to exercise with a good posture. It's not just when I'm doing it on this machine. I'm training myself for how I'm going to walk tomorrow. When I go tomorrow, I'm going to be like walking like this. We should all walk with a gait that invigorates us and exercises our bodies with a good rhythm, with good vital invigoration. If you're moving with invigoration, you will be invigorated and you will be healthy. So, it's the bad posture, it's walking without invigoration that starts to get people, they start to get old, they start to lack energy, they start to lose their posture. And you see what I'm doing now? Stretching. I know this looks like a strange position, but it really is helping my stretching a lot. Okay, the next thing we got to do is right down here on the floor, I got what's called a wobble cushion. Okay, that's going to be our next thing to do. These things are really fun. They're really good for you because what you do is you get on them and they're naturally wobbly. That's why they're called wobble cushions. And I'm standing on it a lot better than I did when I got this about a year ago. I used to just fall off of it. But now I'm actually trying to wobble now. There I fell off. But I'm actually trying to wobble now instead of just staying static on it. I'm wobbling. And why am I wobbling? Because we talked about that there's 1,000 muscles in the body. And right now, in order to keep my position and keep my balance, I gotta have like a lot of instantaneous wobbling adjustments in my leg muscles, and especially on both sides of my knee. Okay, so basically you are exercising a lot of muscles without even being conscious of which ones they are. But in order to maintain your balance, your muscles are constantly readjusting, like in milliseconds. They're adjusting, they're receiving a lot of signals from your brain in order to keep you from falling. In like 360 degrees around your thighs, around your feet, around your ankles, around your knees. All your muscles are doing that. And move your arms too. Stretch your back different directions as you do this. And feel that like all your muscles in your whole body are getting a workout, and they're instantaneously being communicated with your brain. And so you're developing your brain when you do this too, because just like your brain has connections to your voice, to your ears, to your eyes, it should have a really good connection with all the muscles in your body for balance. We all have that ability. All of us could train to become tightrope walkers. All of us could train to balance on our heads or on our hands. We all have the ability to balance our bodies. It just takes practice. So right now, when you do something like this with a wobble cushion, you are actually training your brain. You think, well, no, I'm training my muscles. But yeah, you're doing both. You're training your muscles, but you're also training a big part of your brain, which is important because that's going to help with intelligence later. The more you exercise your brain to control your body, those abilities that you're developing can later be translated into other things. All of our physical abilities translate later into any kind of other ability, whether it's social, games, intellectual, mathematic, music, or whatever. Everything in your body, everything in your brain is synergistically used. Your brain is global. It can take a little relationship from one part and use it for another part. So you're never wasting time. Never, never, never. Yeah, it's like we're getting a lot of chat here from it's always cool to have chat. I actually love it when people come and hate me because I get viewers. And I also get a lot of first time chat. And it's always more constructive when people come and say nice things, but it doesn't really matter. Everything is good. Okay, so let's do a little barbell action now. I'll get over here where you can like see me in like with a different angle. So I got these things. These are like really too light. These things I got too, and they're like a little bit heavier. Like, okay, this is my first night working out, so you'll see me later with those things. But these things are just about right. These are called barbells, and I'm going to go over here where you can see better how to work with these. They're called barbells for, I think that it's like a mysterious reason. Different people have different theories about that. If you want to know the real reason, you have to look up and study etymology. But then there's like a lot of folk etymology about it too. And they're obviously bars. And okay, so what you do is you're going to push one up, and the other one can just relax. You don't have to move them both at the same time. So you basically just want to stretch it up. It is really important that you have a good posture. Okay? Don't like lose awareness of your lower back or something, or of your body. Feel yourself strong, feel your posture good. You're standing up with good, well, I like to call it nobility. Okay? You're looking good. as you do this. And not just looking good because you're lifting it, but your whole body. So with a good posture, and you've got your center of mass under the thing as you're lifting it. It's a small weight, but if it was larger, you would also be doing it because you have good posture. Okay, so we did that kind of muscle. Now we're just going to like lift up like this. And once again, you don't want to like this. Try to do it within your capabilities, but with good posture. If you felt like going like that, I suppose you could, but you don't have to do it. Don't do anything like trying to think it's easy, right? Don't try to force yourself doing something hard. Do the things kind of easy. Now we're doing some. Okay, because you see, first we were moving it up like this. We did one set of muscles, and then we moved it up like that. You got to use another kind of muscle to do that. Like this, using a different muscle. And now you see, you can move it back like this. So, and then remember, always do the other side the same, because we don't want to get asymmetric in any way, like otherwise you end up with like one really strong arm and another arm that's not strong at all. So there we go. And right now I'm feeling like, definitely not feeling tired, which is good, but I'm feeling like, remember we started earlier tonight, we started with the back. So I'm feeling like, I don't know, I just have this sensation. I'm thinking, okay, if I did my back a little bit more right now, it would be great, because maybe my back is like calling out to me. My back is going, oh, I felt so good to exercise a little bit, I want to do a little bit more. You got to be open to that kind of thing, okay? So one thing I'm teaching on this channel is that you got to be able to keep aware, okay? Keep aware of how your body is and what your body wants, right? So here I'm going to we were doing these earlier tonight. I showed you how to do these. Some people call them Supermen. Okay, you can lift up both hands at the same time and stretch your legs, stretch your ankles in different directions. Okay, and then do like a little cat stretch. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of everything. Okay, now this is really good. Look, I'll do from this direction so you can see. You see how I'm like over my feet? Okay, so I'm basically stretching out really good. And I'm starting to get like a little cramp. Don't let that bother you, just stretch in the other direction. So I started to get a cramp in the front, so I immediately switched up to my toes. So I'm stretching in the other direction. Now I'll go back and hopefully you'll be able to do this. So, yeah, you see? I'm completely stretching out the front of my legs. This is called range of motion. And I'm stretching out my back now too by arching forward and trying to get as straight as possible. Okay, then I put my head all the way down. Range of motion is where it's at, right? We got to do like a lot of range of motion. Okay, and just have fun. Okay, this is like a lot of fun. Nothing to memorize here. Just feel like, you're kind of like a young kid or whatever, toddler, and you're like experimenting with your body in different directions. Don't do anything fast because you might end up pulling something, but if you move slow, your body will handle it. If it doesn't, you can go back to being less active. But you probably will continue to be okay. Usually you hurt yourself a little bit, and then a few days later, with a little stretching and everything, you're back on top. But the thing is, don't do too much. Like if you haven't, I talked about that earlier tonight. I'm doing like a lot of these motions, but if you're going to exercise for the first time, I don't know, do like 5 of them and see how you feel the next day. Just see how you feel. If you feel better, if you feel good the next day, then you can do like 6 the next night, right? Go slow. People say, well, isn't it dangerous to move your muscles? You know, it's dangerous not to move your muscles. Most people die from lack of activity. More people die of things like being overweight, diabetes, weak heart, all of these things. That's why people are dying. It's not because they moved a muscle or something. So you have to I wouldn't take risk by just like going out and lifting 200 pounds or something, but you know, move your body a little bit, do a little bit of jumping, move your arms out, your legs, okay? You're not gonna end up in the hospital by doing this. Start slow, okay, like I am. We're gonna keep every night until we do the fly Emiratis. We're gonna fly Emiratis, we're gonna go to Abu Dhabi, and we're going to rock climb. Okay, that's the story. That's the story arc. Okay, so now we're going to do some actually dedicated climbing stuff. I'm going to take you out to another area. We're going to go out to where the hangboard is. Okay, the hangboard is a thing for practicing strength in the fingers. It is basically similar to actual holds on a rock. Rocks have like little protuberances and things that you can grab onto. And this has like little protuberances to grab onto. So we're going to make our hands stronger with that. Before we do that though, we can just do like a couple of pull-ups with this thing. I don't like to do a lot of pull-ups because, to tell you the truth, you don't have to do like a lot of pull-ups to get yourself a rock face. And at the same time, I had like a little problem here with this tendon not too long ago, so I'm taking it really easy. I was doing like too many of them, and I don't know what I did, if it got like a little bit overstrained or something and started to pain me a little bit. So now I'm just going to do like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 or 3 of them. But what I do is I kind of like use an asymmetrical grip, because if they're both like this, I feel like it strains more. If one's one direction, one's the other direction, it seems a little bit easier for me. So I just grab it like this, pull myself up, and I'm just going to do 2 of them because I don't really want to get into a situation where I start to get like worse and worse. I'm going to just do 2, and I might even just do 1 depending on how it feels. That felt okay, so do 1 more. Okay, so that was all right. Now I'm going to take you out, show you the hangboard. Okay, hangboard is something really, really important for rock climbing, and we are on our way. Fly Emiratis. We're going to go to Abu Dhabi, and we're going to go to Ras al Khaima. We're going to climb 17 pitches, and we got to get in shape before we do that. And this is why, if any of the viewers are here from my chess channel, we're not doing the chess channel for a while at least, because I really gotta